Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So the new lockbox is here, the Planner Panic lockbox. You'll be able to purchase it here from the Wondrous Bazaar for 200 Astral Diamonds or reduce that by a discount if you have VIP. Before we get started, the live server is now up. We have Module 26 with all its new content. You can jump in, start doing the campaign, the Demon Web Pits. A lot of information videos linked below. But just checking the Zen market, we have a few packs. And just a heads up, make sure to claim your free items as well. Right now we just have a title, but after 7 days, we're gonna have a mount that you can claim. You can just check the info right there, how much progress you have, and 7 days you'll get the butterfly wings. You have 16 days to log in. 7 days of that. On the Zen market here, we have a bunch of new things. Checking the keys section, then we have a new bundle here. It'll give you 20 enchanted keys plus some campaign currency. This is the alternative campaign currency. You won't need this to unlock the dungeon or anything. It'll just be the currency to buy like enchantments, insignias, and also gear. I don't see it as worth it unless you're just going to buy keys anyway. Then you could get a little bit of a boost. We move to packs and we have the unlock for the new dungeon. Here you will be able to get Sigils of Scorce, which is the currency to progress on the campaign. And additionally, you get some overloads here, lesser demon ones, some drow overloads there. Underdark lurkers, a stone of health, and a coalescent moat. Not bad deal there to unlock the dungeon day one. We also get the bridge burner pack, which just has a fashion set here, I guess relating somewhat to the new zone with all the mushrooms, and then some scrolls, an epic opal, that's a new enchantment, and a new belt item. This belt item will increase the drop rate of your campaign currencies by 15%, and when you use it, you'll strike your enemies with 3 rapid bursts of abyssal magic, dealing damage with each blast. 150 magnitude. Oh, I might have to buy this just to test that. It will also give 15% currency for the campaign, and there will be a lot of grinding to do. But I believe that is it. You can, yes, buy the premium pass for the new battle pass. Just here, Chaos Between Realms. We currently have a Ritual Subverted where you can get these rewards. Make sure to get that free coalescent ward. All you will have to do is do some abyssal hunts, random skirmish or trial queue, and random dungeon queue. So this new lockbox will have with it the new companion and mount. Additionally, there is a change to the trade bar drops. You will see that the icon's a little bit different as these are considered bonus trade bars, whereas these ones from the progress track are considered just the flat trade bars you gain. However, when you look at the tooltip, you can now see that you will gain plus 10 to 18 Termlin trade bars per box you open. Again, they need an enchanted key. Recommend just having VIP and collecting those every day, saving them for your lockbox and opening them. You want to try and open 250 of a lockbox before moving to the next to get the guaranteed reward. So I went ahead and opened a ton of these lockboxes. They do have a new feature where you can open like 10 at once as per module 26. And so yeah, upon opening our 250, we got ourselves 10,902 trade bars, which is the equivalent to what we would usually get with the older style lockboxes where we would get those guaranteed drops as well. So that's very nice. We're back to that level. And it's just a little bit of an upgrade from, let's say, the Atramentus lockbox, the previous one, to this, which has a decent drop rate on trade bars. Now, after opening 250, we did not obtain Uni or Bobby, so we had to open a few more in order to get one of them. That way we have the choice pack and we can obtain both of them. So let's cover my testings of them. I now have both of the companions equipped it on one character, which allows me then to reclaim them on all characters. So we have the mount and then we have the companion. Now let's cover the mount first. The mount itself will look like this when you mount up, has a bit of a fancy animation, and then she glows for a little bit. We'll do it again. There you go. And then you're just running around like you would as a normal horse. Now, if you use the spacebar animation, you have some real fancy, yeah, that looks really janky. But Yeah, that's the mount. And then it has the combat power, Uni's charge. When you have 100% mount bolster, you'll get it at its maximum, and it will deal 2,250 damage to one target. If they are control immune, it's an extra 450 magnitude damage, but if they're not control immune, they'll get a 3-second stun. Then you will trigger an aura, where everybody around you will get 5% combat advantage for 10 seconds. Now, since the total of these magnitude is not equal to 3,000, you're better off using, for example, Golden Touch from the Golden Warhorse, or the Giant Toad Tongue Lash from the legendary Giant Toad, or just Tunnel Vision when it's maxed upgraded. That will be 3,000 magnitude versus what we just get here of a maximum against a boss, 2,700. However, you could use it as, let's say, a mount that you're going to have on all of your alts. That's pretty nice. It's account wide. But what damage does it actually use? Magical or physical? We go in combat here and we cast the mount power and we gain the buff. You can see Uni's aura, 5% combat advantage. Our teammates also obtain it, but it only lasts 10 seconds and then it goes away, and thus, yeah, not really reliable. You want to be having 90% combat advantage in combat like all the time, so nobody's going to make use of that. But checking the actual damage, whether it's magical or physical, we can see that it is indeed strength based. So it's physical. We checked with intelligence. That was giving us lower damage than what we were showing there. So it will favor people who stack the strength ability score, the physical damage dealers. That means this mount is a little bit worse off than, let's say, the Big B's Hand. The Big B's Hand has a total of 3,000 magnitude against bosses. So this one is best in slot for strength-based characters, physical damage dealers versus the new mount. But I guess it could be a more budget option if the Big B's Hand is more expensive. But additionally, you can slot this mount in your stable. Doing so will give you 4 insignia slots, so you could have an additional insignia there with a preferred of a barbed, which, if you take benefit of that, gives you 100 more item level at mythic, from 500 to 600. Now the insignia bonuses we can see here: Master's Precision, Mender's Covenant, Executioner's Covenant, Cursed Resolve, Tactician's Restoration, Cavalry's Warning, Barbarian's Revelry, and Survivor's Bloodlust. Quite a lot of options there, but a damage dealer would just want to take like Executioner's Covenant, a healer would just want to take Mender's Covenant. The rest of the bonuses there, not exactly reliable, except maybe Barbarian's Revelry if you need a little bit of a heal. Lastly, with the mount, we have the equip bonus, Celestial Luck. When you use a daily power, you gain 9,000 critical strike. We can check that out. Critical strike, 89,000. We go ahead and use a daily power, and that should get boosted up when our daily's finished casting to 98,000. So that works, but again, it's a temporary buff, and you want to be having your critical strike at maximum, so it's not really any use. So that is the Uni the Unicorn. I don't really recommend it other than, let's say, for the 4 slots in your stable. But let's move on to the companion, Bobby the Barbarian. He has a purple power here that's going to give us an enhancement, Unflinching Will. That just gives us 3.8% to deflect and deflect severity. Could be useful on some tank builds out there. And then Bobby's Vigor, 12,000 maximum hit points at 4% defense. Not too great since it gives the maximum hit points. You're better off with alternative stat boost there for defense. But the companion is primarily AoE damage dealing. He's got his club and he's just going to go smack some targets. He can swing at them, making them take increased damage by 5%. That's pretty neat. And if they're control immune, they take extra damage. And he has Thunderous Thwacks, where he can deal damage around him and will daze the enemies so they cannot attack. So in combat here, when we have Bobby the Barbarian attacking, you can see he swings with his club there and he puts the debuff on the enemy. His attacks are all arcs, AoEs, and then he has this Thunderous Thwap power where he'll wind it up and then just start smacking the ground right there. Anybody within that area is getting dazed and won't be doing much. So he could be pretty useful in an AoE fight. We'll check him against some ads just in a bit, but we want to focus on that particular power, Swing for the Fences, where he makes the target take 5% increased damage. So we test it out in combat and we can see the debuff does actually work. You gain 5%. The problem is the uptime is pretty terrible. You can see when you first go in combat here, he may very well use it, which is pretty good, but it only lasts 5 seconds. So you could take advantage of that with an artifact call right from the start. But yeah, he's not using the power again for another like 15 seconds. Then it only lasts 5 seconds and it's gone again. It does say on his stat page that the cooldown's 10 seconds, but the cast time is nearly 5 seconds, so that's where we get the, up for 5 seconds, and then another 15 seconds before he casts it again. But just testing a single target damage with combat advantage against, let's say, a boss, we can see he's not great. 24,000 encounter DPS is in no way gonna compete with like these top ones here at about 40,000 encounter DPS in boss fights. So now we want to check his AoE. How well is he gonna do against a pack of enemies? How quick is he gonna kill these 6 dummies so we can rank him versus a bunch of other AoE companions? So we just let him start attacking there. He can hit quite a few of them. His range is not the best, so yeah, he's gonna have to be really close to the enemies and you're gonna want them to be quite grouped up in order for him to do much. But he starts swacking the ground and yeah, well, that's not very impressive. He didn't actually hit any of the dummies beside him. The thing with that power is it's a bit off-putting. It has a radius of 10 centered on him, not where he hits. So again, he has to be really close to the targets to actually damage them. So there we go. He took nearly 2 minutes to kill those guys, which pushes his DPS at like 17.5 thousand, which when we check our document, our AoE damage companions, yeah, he's gonna be there between the Songstress and the Manticore, putting him in 27th place ahead of the Songstress. Not good. Definitely a lot of better options. Like the previous Lockbox had the Minotaur companion. He didn't output like a ton of damage, but at least he had the group up ability. He groups the enemies together with his pull power, gravity power, and then you'll be able to deal the majority of the damage much easier because he'll be in a tight area and you're going to have those area damage powers, which you then can affect everything in there. I would say the Minotaur is definitely a good bit better than Bobby. Ultimately, that's the new Lockbox. The mount, I'll just use for 4 slots if I get it. The companion, just sell it, to be honest. Special thank you to all these channel members for their added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.